need to leave the palace, he said urgently. Cedric is plotting against us. Under the cover of darkness, they slipped out of the palace, carrying their sleeping daughter safely in Ayo's arm. Adanna heard a noise outside their cave. Adanna, come out and face me. If you don't come out, I will have to come in. You don't want that. With a deep breath, she stepped out of the cave, her heart pounding in her chest. Cedric, what do you want from us? He stared closer. I want what is mine. Ayo's heart raced with anger. He knew he had to act quickly to protect his family. He found Adanna in their secret garden holding Ola, and his expression turned serious. We need to leave the palace, he said urgently. Cedric is plotting against us, and we can't let him destroy our lives. Adanna's eyes widened in fear. But where will we go? We can't just run away. We will figure it out, Ayo replied, his determination unwavering. We can seek refuge in the mountains, eat removes, and no one will find us there. We can raise Ola in peace. After much discussion, they decided to leave that very night. They packed a few belongings, ensuring they had enough for the journey, and whispered their farewells to the palace that had been both a sanctuary and a prison. Under the cover of darkness, they slipped out of the palace, carrying their sleeping daughter safely in Ayo's arm. The night was filled with sound of nature, the air cool against their skin as they hurried towards the mountains. Adanna's heart raced with fear, but the love for her daughter pushed her forward. As they climbed higher into the mountains, the world below faded away. They found a hidden cave, a perfect shelter away from prying eyes. It was there that they hoped to create a new life, away from the constraints of royalty. Days turned into weeks, and Ayo and Adanna learned to adapt to their new surroundings. They gathered berries, hunted small games, and kept Ola safe. The mountains became their sanctuary, a place where they could be free to love each other and raise their child without fear of judgment. But peace was short-lived. One fateful night, while Ayo was out gathering food, Adanna heard a noise outside their cave. Her heart raced as she clutched Ola close, listening intently. Suddenly, the cave entrance was illuminated by torches, and Cedric's voice rang out. Adanna! Ayo! Come out and face me! Cedric shouted, his tone laced with malice. I know you are hiding there. Your little escape had only made things worse for you. Adanna's heart sank. She knew they couldn't let Cedric find them. Not now when they were so close to freedom. She quickly placed Ola in a safer corner of the cave, covering her with blankets. We can't let him take you away, my love, Adanna whispered to Ola, tears welling in her eyes. Adanna! Cedric's voice echoed again. If you don't come out, I will have to come in. You don't want that. Desperation gripped her heart as Adanna made a decision. She couldn't let Cedric harm her family. With a deep breath, she stepped out of the cave, her heart pounding in her chest. Cedric! She called out, trying to sound brave. What do you want from us? He stared closer. I want what is mine, the throne and the power that comes with it. You think you can run away from me? You are a fool, Adanna. The king and the queen will never accept a traitor in their family. They will accept me if I return with the truth, Adanna said, trying to buy time. But you won't do that, will you? You need me alive to get what you want. Cedric paused, contemplating her race. You are right, but make no mistake, Adanna. I will not hesitate to expose you and Ayo if you cross me again. Ayo returned just in a time to hear Cedric's threats. Anger surged through him, and he stepped forward, ready to defend Adanna and their child. You will not harm them, Cedric. You may have power, but you will never have our love. Cedric's eyes narrowed as he stepped back. You think you can protect her? I will expose your secret, and the entire kingdom will turn against you. You will lose everything. But Ayo stood firm, holding Adanna's hand tightly. You may have power, but we have something far stronger, love. We will not let you tear our family apart. With that declaration, Cedric's expression shifted from arrogance to fury. You will regret this. He spat, turning to leave. But mark my words, I will have my revenge. As he disappeared into the night, Ayo and Adanna felt a wave of relief wash over them. But they knew the danger was far from over. Cedric would not rest until he had destroyed them. They had to be vigilant, not only for themselves, but for Allah. In the weeks that followed, Ayo and Adanna worked hard to fortify their little sanctuary in the mountains. They created traps around the cave and gathered supplies, knowing that Cedric could return any moment. They also spent precious time with Allah, teaching her about the nature and the strength of love. However, the threat of Cedric loomed large. One day, while exploring the nearby woods, Adanna discovered a hidden path leading to a small village. She felt a flicker of hope. If they could reach the village, they might find Alice, who would help them. That evening, she shared her discovery with Ayo. If we can reach the village, maybe we can gather support against Cedric, she said, her eyes bright with determination. Ayo nodded, a plan forming in his mind. We will go at dawn. We can't stay hidden forever, and the villagers may have heard of Cedric's scheme. As the sun rose the next day, they set off down the hidden path, all strapped securely to Adanna's back. They moved quickly, knowing the risk of being discovered. The village was small, bustling with life, filled with farmers and traders who welcomed the royal families without knowing their true identities. They approached a wise old woman named Nora, known for her knowledge of the kingdom and its troubles. Please, we need your help, Ayo said, his voice earnest. Cedric seeks to destroy us. We cannot let him rule without consequences. Nora's eyes sparkled with understanding. I've heard whispers of Cedric's deceit. You are not the only ones who suffered under his greed. The village stands with you. With the village support, Ayo and Adanna felt a renewed sense of hope. They devised a plan to confront Cedric and reveal his treachery to the kingdom and the queen. That night, the villagers gathered and Ayo shared their stories, their love, their child, and Cedric's threats. The villagers rallied behind them, ready to stand against Cedric's tyranny. Together, we will protect our future and our kingdom, Ayo declared. With their plan in motion, they returned to the palace, accompanied by the villagers. As they approached the gate, Ayo's heart raced. He knew they were walking into danger. But the love for Adanna and Ola fueled his courage. Inside the palace, they found Cedric in the throne room, a small look on his face as he addressed the king and the queen. "Your Majesty, I have news that will shock you," he announced, revealing in the moment. But before he could speak, Ayo stepped forward, flanked by the villagers. "Cedric, you will not deceive the king any longer. We have come to reveal the truth." Gasps filled the room as Ayo continued. "Cedric has plotted against us, seeking to destroy our family for his own gain. He has manipulated you all with lies." The king and the queen exchanged confused looks, their expression shifting from shock to anger as Cedric's facade began to crumble. "This is preposterous," Cedric yelled, trying to gain control. But Nora stepped forward, her voice steady and commanding. "I have witnessed Cedric's deceit. He has used his position to further his ambitions while threatening the lives of the royal family." With the villagers supporting them, the truth of Cedric's treachery became undeniable. The king and the queen listened, their eyes narrowing in realization as the evidence starts against Cedric. "You will pay for this." As Cedric's facade crumbled, the atmosphere in the throne turned electric with tension. The king, his voice low and fierce, demanded, "Cedric, you will explain yourself. How dare you betray the very family that has trusted you?" Cedric's bravado faltered, but he quickly regained his composure. "Your Majesty, this is nothing but a scheme orchestrated by Ayo to tarnish my name. He seeks to undermine the stability of the kingdom." "Enough!" Ayo shouted, stepping forward. "You cannot spin your lies any longer, Cedric. We have proof of your deceit." He gestured to the villagers who had come to stand by him, their faces determined and resolute. With Nora leading the charge, they unveiled the evidence of Cedric's machinations letter and documents that exposed his plan. The king's expression turned from confusion to horror as he read the incriminating words. "Cedric, you have betrayed your family and your kingdom," the queen said, her voice trembling with disbelief. "How could you?" The weight of his action crashed down on Cedric, and for the first time, he looked vulnerable. "I did it for power," he admitted, his voice hollow. "The throne should be mine. I could lead this kingdom to greatness." The king stepped forward, fury blazing in his eyes. "Greatness achieved through betrayal is no longer greatness at all. You will be stripped of your titles and exiled from the kingdom. for your treasury." A murmur of agreement rippled through the room, and the villagers stood tall, ready to defend Ayo and Adanna's right to the throne. The queen turned her gaze to Ayo and Adanna, pride swelling in his heart. "You have shown incredible bravery and love. Your family deserves to be honored and protected." With Cedric's downfall, Ayo felt a mixture of relief and belief. Adanna squeezed his hand, and her eyes glittering with tears of joy. "We did it, Ayo. We are free." The king turned to Ayo, his expression softening. "You have always been a part of this family, Ayo. Your love for Adanna and your courage to protect her and your child have proven your worth. We welcome you back to the palace." As the truth settled in, the villagers cheered, celebrating the triumph of love over deceit. Ayo and Adanna embraced the weight of their secret finally lifted, and the path to a brighter future lay before them. In the following weeks, the kingdom healed from the wounds inflicted by Cedric's betrayal. Ayo and Adanna resumed their roles as the rightful heirs, but this time with wisdom and experience gained from their trials. They worked alongside the king and the queen to rebuild trust with the people and ensure that treachery would never occur again.